Hi guys, and today I'm going to bring you along for a delicious recipe of stuffing a pumpkin. I am going to be stuffing a sugar pumpkin. Right now it's fall and pumpkins are of abundance in all grocery stores, or at least all grocery stores around here. You don't have to use a sugar pumpkin. You can use any variety, really. I was going to do a butterkin, which is technically a squash, actually, but I think it's going to be too small because I love mushrooms, and I'm stuffing this with mushrooms and onion and garlic and cheese and bacon. But I think I cut up too much for it to all fit into one of my smaller pumpkins. So that's why I chose the sugar pumpkin, and I've done it in a sugar pumpkin before and it is delicious, so I know it's going to turn out good. I hope you guys stick along for this recipe. Like the video, subscribe if you want to see more. So I have in here bacon drippings, which are actually getting way too hot. Bacon drippings in here. You need 6 slices of bacon on that, and I am now going to put in our veggies. And I have in here 1 medium white onion, 8 ounces of mushrooms, and they're baby portobellos. They're delicious. And then I have 4 cloves of garlic. Actually, I'll need that. 4 cloves of garlic in there. Usually I don't put my garlic in until the end, but I don't think it's going to burn. And I forgot that it was on the plate until just now. So, you work with what you get. So anyway, it looks like a lot right now, but the mushrooms and the onions will reduce down. And anyway, the last time I made this, I ended up popping the top off of my pumpkin while it was cooking because of all the things that I stuffed in it. So it's probably going to happen again, but that's okay because at the end you take the top off anyway to brown up that ooey gooey cheese. So it should be absolutely delicious. Alright, so to this I'm going to add some black pepper, and you just eyeball it. We love black pepper, so that's probably a good ½ teaspoon of black pepper, some Himalayan pink salt, and I highly recommend this. It's well, you can use it in canning. It's a non-iodized salt. And I can a lot, and so that way I don't have to worry about if I make a soup and then I decide that I want to can the leftovers. I don't have to think, did I use the right salt? And I think it's delicious. You use less, or at least I do. I think the flavor's better, and a little bit goes a long way. So when you're trying to be healthy and reduce the sodium in your life, I think that is the way to go. Plus it's pretty. I mean, who doesn't love pink salt? My son calls it sprinkles. He wants sprinkles in everything. And I think he just likes to crank it. Alright, so we're going to let this reduce down and caramelize up a bit. And while that is happening, I'm going to chop my bacon up. Now, you're also going to need some day-old bread. This is some sourdough from where we had soup in a bowl, or soup in a bread bowl, and this is the inside that I cut out. So cut this into pretty small pieces. The stuffed pumpkin is kind of like a stuffing. Alright, I think that might be enough, and that's a cup and a half, 2 cups of stuffing, and I have more. I can add more if need be. I don't want to put too much in because I don't want it to be too dry. And I guess take this off. Okay, so with your pumpkin, you want to cut the top off. Let me make sure I'm still okay. You want to cut the top off, which this is going to be difficult on me. Be careful, guys, because I know I've cut myself while trying to carve a pumpkin, and essentially you're kind of doing that. I mean, we're not carving a smiley face or tough skin. So you want to get your little top off. And don't throw it away, because we are going to put it back on as our lid. I also like this recipe because you're not dirtying up a ton of dishes. Lord knows. I feel like I'm a slave to my dishes. Seriously. So anything that can cut down on that, I'm game. Alright. And save your pumpkin seeds, because you can roast those. And I might make a video on that if there's enough interest. Scoop out your insides. Pumpkin seeds are going everywhere. Oh, I am making a mess. Cut. Okay, so I don't know if I mentioned this before. It's a very forgiving recipe. Nothing is exact. We like a lot of cheese. So this is about a cup of cheese. It's half Swiss and half Fontina cheese. And I shredded some and I cubed some because I want it to really be incorporated throughout this dish. And then I added about a half a teaspoon of dry thyme. And you can add more or less to your liking. And then the same with the garlic powder. It was about a teaspoon of garlic powder. So now that that is done, we're going to take cream, and I'm using heavy cream, and do about, okay, so now that we've added about a half a cup of cream, you want to incorporate all of it, and you want it to be wet, but not soaking wet. So again, depending on the amount of bread you put in, if you put in more or less, or the consistency of the bread really, if it soaks up more. I'm going to add a touch more cream because I want it a little wetter than what it was, because it's going to cook in a 350-degree oven for an hour. At the 50-minute mark, take the lid off and let the cheese brown up. But you are going to smell this, and oh my gosh, you're not going to be able to contain yourself. So now all we're going to do is put our filling inside our pumpkin. And that's all it is. I'm going to set mine on a cookie sheet just in case it overflows. And see, I still have so much stuffing, and we are already running out of room. Pumpkin until it cannot be stuffed anymore. That's just how I roll. And if the top pops off like it did the last time I cooked it, that is okay. It did not ruin it at all, and it didn't even burn like I thought it was going to. It must not have popped off too soon into the cooking process. Alright, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Alright, that is probably as good as I'm gonna get. So really, there wasn't that much left over. Alright, so now all you do, you take your lid, put your lid back on. I'm trying to figure out. There. Alright, put your lid back on, and I'm just going to stick this on a baking sheet, stick it in my oven, set the timer for 50 minutes, take your lid off if it hasn't popped off, and then let it go for another 10 minutes. And you'll see it all golden brown, and I will bring you back when this pumpkin is done. Alright guys, so here is the finished product. All that ooey gooey cheese and mushrooms and bacon. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. So I will give you a bite. Very hot. Make sure you get some of that pumpkin in there with it. All right. Oh man. That is delicious. It's not too cheesy. And that pumpkin gives it just the right amount of balance. Perfect fall dinner. Or in my case, breakfast / lunch. Alright guys, so I hope you like this video. And I hope you come back to watch the many more videos that I will be posting. Alright guys, bye.